The Religion of the Ancient Celts, written by J. A. Macculloch, narrated by Ivan Busenius. Preface. The scientific study of ancient Celtic religion is a thing of recent growth. As a result of the paucity of materials for such a study, earlier writers indulged in the wildest speculative flights and connected the religion with the distant East, or sought in the remains of a monotheistic faith, or a series of esoteric doctrines veiled under polytheistic cults. With the works of M. Guédaz, Bertrand, and des Bois de Jubenville in France, as well as by the publication of Irish texts by such scholars as Doctors Windisch and Stokes, a new era may be said to have dawned, and a flood of light was poured upon the scanty remains of Celtic religion. In this country, the place of honor among students of that religion belongs to Sir John Rhys, whose Hibbert Lectures on the Origin and Growth of Religion, as illustrated by Celtic Heathendom in 1886, was an epoch-making work. Every student of the subject since that time feels the immense debt which he owes to the indefatigable researches and the brilliant suggestions of Sir John Rhys, and I would be ungrateful if I did not record my indebtedness to him. In his Hibbert Lectures and in his large masterly work on the Arthurian legend, however, he took the standpoint of the mythological school and tended to see in the old stories myths of the sun and dawn and the darkness, and in the divinities sun gods and dawn goddesses and a host of dark personages of supernatural character. The present writer, studying the subject rather from an anthropological point of view and in the light of modern folk survivals, has found himself in disagreement with Sir John Rhys on more than one occasion. But he is convinced that Sir John would be the last person to resent this, and that, in spite of his mythological interpretations, his Hibbert Lectures must remain as a source of inspiration to all Celtic students. More recently, the studies of M. Solomon Reinach and of M. Doughton and the valuable little book on Celtic religion by Professor Annewell have broken fresh ground. In this book, I've made use of all the available sources and have endeavored to study the subject from the comparative point of view and in the light of the anthropological method. I have also interpreted the earlier cults by means of recent folk survivals over the Celtic area wherever it had seemed legitimate to do so. The results are summarized in the introductory chapter of the work, and students of religion, and especially of Celtic religion, must judge how far they form a true interpretation of the earlier faith of our Celtic.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?